Making your own path, charting a new course, going against the grain. There's many ways to say it, but the brewers you're about to meet are living it on this episode of Brewed.
Well, it took us 3 seasons, but we're finally here. This place has been on our to-do list forever, and we're finally able to get Mark to take a second or two to stop making so much beer that he could actually talk to us about the place. I'm referring to Contrary Brewing Company in Muscatine. Mark, welcome to the show first and foremost.
Thanks, David. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having us. I got to ask, Contrary to what? Where does this name come from?
Well, there's 5,000 breweries now in the United States, so...
In fact, just since we started this interview, 3 more have started.
Oh, see?
Huh? Now it's 4. Keep going. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No worries. So I had several other names that I liked. They were already taken. So I had a friend come up with the name Contrary. It's contrary to most American lagers that we serve here.
Okay.
It also has a little bit to do with my personality, he says. So,
You just go against the grain.
apparently.
Which, by the way, is also taken. You can't have that
Right.
name. So you're trying to do things differently, but not in a hard-headed way, right? I mean, it's not like
No,
a
we
big...
try to get along.
Yeah, okay,
Right,
all right.
right.
Contrary, but yet still somehow complementary.
Here we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So when did this start for you? How long have you been brewing, Mark?
I've been brewing over 20 years.
Jeez.
So I was brewing at home.
Okay.
Contrary's been open just over a year and a half.
Okay. Tell me about, before we get into the beer,
Sure.
the place where we drink the beer. This location here in Muscatine, it's just exquisite in that you've got space galore, but also you're kind of going for a vibe here that's different from, say, a regular bar and tavern, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no TVs, of course. We encourage people to have a good time, have a conversation. The building is, they say, Civil War era.
No kidding.
Yes. So it's got a lot of history behind it. The beams that hold up the ceiling, for example, they say that they were built about in the 1860s.
Crazy. Now, I'll ask the obvious question I know our viewers are asking. Is the place haunted?
Not that I know of.
Okay, well, I mean, you would know, because you're here
Right.
a lot.
Yes.
You spend a lot of time working on brewing the beers here, and there are a ton of different styles you're doing. For a nano brewery, you've got a lot to choose from.
Right. We offer 12 beers, try to switch those up. We typically have a new beer come on weekly.
Every week a new beer.
Typically.
Do you think that's easier because of the scale that you're doing things, or do you sometimes regret giving people that many options?
Not really. People like choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a lot easier on my scale. I do 2-barrel batch, so it's 4 kegs of beer. We could typically sell that in a few weeks. Nothing stays on tap more than 2 months, typically, as far as like a batch.
So this isn't the kind of place where people go and you have like a core year-round beer that you don't, like you have to go to Contrary and have this. You're always swapping things out?
No, we have several core beers.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
if I fall in love and I find out next time I'm here it's not available, Mark, that's going to be a problem.
I see.
So it's important to you to swap things out, but you also have, what are some of the staples? No matter when someone is watching this, what can they come in and enjoy?
We always have our apricot wheat on.
Apricot wheat?
Yep. We always have the Belgian blonde is nice and it's always on.
Okay.
The Semper Fi is a staple. We've always got an IPA.
So no matter what, there's a version of the IPA. What do you have right now?
It's called our Cure for Pessimism.
Cure for Pessimism. That's fantastic. I think that's what we need.
Right?
More than anything. A beer that can promise a cure for pessimism. You just might have lightning in a bottle there. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So with the system that you have, you're able to make how much beer in a year?
At this point, we're making about 200 barrels a year.
200 barrels a year. And it's all consumed here on site?
98% of it.
Okay. There's also growler fills, obviously.
Yes.
That's the other 2%.
Right.
Any plans to take it bigger? And
We would like to expand. Yep. So we've been looking into a bigger system. Talked with Crawford.
those are the guys to talk to.
Right. So
Right.
yep. Hopefully in the near future, we can work to pull that off.
People rave about your stuff. And then this is when I said at the beginning of the segment that this is a place that we've been trying to get into. It's been hard because your schedule is impossible because you're always brewing beer.
Right.
And also, people are always stopping me and saying, Dave, when are you going to get to Contrary? You've got to go to the Contrary. They have the most amazing stuff that's being made. So please know you've got fans all over the place.
Well, that's good to hear.
And we'll see if all of this touting of the beer has been worth it. I think you'll find I'm a fair judge.
No pressure, right?
I basically I like everything. Let's not kid each other. I love it all. It's so good. Can we try some of your beer?
Absolutely.
All right. Jackpot. All right, Mark, before we get into the samples, I've got to ask, because I see it on your big board here, what in the world is a no mug club? Are you putting beer in people's hands, or how does that work?
It's just a different take on the membership club. So instead of getting a 16-ounce pour if you join, you get the bigger 20-ounce pour, and you also get it changes up from year to year. This year, you're getting a 32-ounce insulated stainless steel growler with it, so we think it's a pretty good deal.
That's a heck of a deal. What's the most adventurous thing that you've made in the year and a half you've been doing this? What's the one where you thought, wow, that was daring?
I made a German chocolate cake beer.
Ooh, how'd that go?
Really well.
What'd you call it?
Eat German's chocolate cake.
Eat Germans?
You know, it's actually named after a gentleman whose last name was German. So.
Oh, okay. I was thinking something very weird was going on there. Okay, yeah. Like you're the German witch in Hansel and Gretel or something, trying to lure kids into your candy house. But that sounds great.
Yeah, it went over really well. Actually, just kegged another batch this afternoon.
Really?
So, yes.
So that's something that's available?
It could be.
All right, well, but that's not what we're going to be sampling right now. Let's talk about these three samples here.
Right, so this is our cream ale. It's called the Iowa Common Cream Ale.
Iowa Common Cream Ale.
Yes.
Let's get started with that one.
Alrighty.
The name, because it's just a very common cream ale?
Essentially, it's a working man's beer.
Okay.
It's something that's typically it's low alcohol.
Okay.
It's fairly simple. It's easy to drink. So this beer got a 2-row malt. It's got honey malt, and it's got flake corn.
Wow.
So,
all right.
Well, enjoy.
Here's to the common man. Oh boy, does that finish nice. That is smooth. That might be too smooth and fancy for the common man. So, if somebody comes in here, Mark, oh boy, hang on a second. If somebody comes in here and they don't know a lot about craft beer, you send them to the Iowa Common Ale first, or?
A lot of times it's for your Bud, Miller, Coors drinkers. So they come in, they want something light, they want something refreshing that fits the bill.
We call that a gateway beer.
Absolutely.
Lets them take their first steps into a larger world.
Right.
Although I got to say, this is really, really good. Well, a lot of times your gateway beers are just sort of straightforward Pilsner lager kind of thing. This is I hate to say it, I think I already have my favorite here, and there's 11 others to try. What's next here?
So our honey porter.
The honey porter.
Yes.
Now you use local honey for this?
I do. It's sourced here, just right down. There's what they call an island in Muscatine. It's not an actual island. Anyway, they grow our watermelons and whatnot in that area.
Sure.
There's a local place that has some hives. We source our honey from there.
Oh, the honey's really there at the end.
Yep, got some honey malt in that also.
Honey malt and actual honey.
Yes.
How much honey are you using? You put it at the end of the boil or beginning? Or?
Right at the end of the boil.
Right at the end.
Yep, 8 pounds per barrel.
Oh, wow. And that's not but it's not too much honey. It's just a nice
right.
little...
So we're going for a hint.
Yeah.
We don't want to knock you over the head with it.
You know, this would be good. This would be good if you had like a sore throat.
Here we go, perfect.
Or if you didn't have a sore throat. People with throats, that's who the market is for this beer. And finally we have...
the Cure for Pessimism IPA.
Cure for Pessimism. What kind of hops are you using in this?
Several.
Okay.
Yep, so we've got bitter with Summit.
Okay.
Cascade, Centennial, and Amarillo.
Oh, Amarillo's in this?
Yes.
What kind of malts are you using in this?
2-row.
2-row.
2-row, oats, and wheat.
Oh, man. Oh. Listen, I want to say to the viewers who told us we had to come to Contrary, thank you, because wow, this is just super balanced. Like it's, oh man. Oh, is that good? You're telling me there's a chance that this Cure for Pessimism may not be here next time I come in a month or so.
It's been popular, so I've brewed several batches of it in a row. A lot of times,
Please keep brewing more batches of this. I know that you
Sounds
brewers,
good.
you creative types hate to do the same thing over and over again and sell out to the man. Please always, always make this. This is just delicious. The Cure for Pessimism. This is a cure for everything is what this is. Mark, 1, 2, 3 in a row. Just fantastic job.
well, thank you.
And
Appreciate
once
that.
the cameras are off, we're going to go through the rest of the lineup. But they only give us so much time. Mark, thanks for having us.
Nope, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that.
Wow. Wow.
Coming up on Brewed, back to school. This college town lab makes me want to do some extra credit work.